The Night of Loveless Nights by Robert Desnos. Translated and performed by Bernys. Audio production and original music by Bernys. Putrid, frozen night, an awful night, a night of crippled ghosts and rotting weeds. White-hot night, flame and fire inside the wells. Darkness, no lighting, only lies, tricks. Who is watching me in the river's roar? The drowned? The fishermen? Sailors? Let the tumors burst, those black spots on the skin of passing shadows. Those eyes have seen me before. Let the shouting begin. That day the sun sank behind the city. The shadow of horse chestnuts pooled at the base of tall buildings. Flags snapped from the towers. Summer, ripening, piled its fruit for annual sacrifice. You come from far off. Yes, snake spitter, sad killer, hollow lover, painless, you vanish. But you, child of your own mess, suicidal, do you blush at wanting to be happy? Ghost, you are the mirror that prolongs my night. Among cold coffins, among hearts that disgust, love boils down, boils again like poison mushrooms, the shadow of a lover, ruined in the hands of a cripple. Still, you're not one I despise. Take my hand, brother. Let us embrace among the sweet notes. Ribbons, combs, you never bent your knees in prayer, never stained them. You were searching at the foot of upright rocks for that inlet where starfish go to die. It was evening. Fires wandered the cold sky, dreaming in the salt pans. You watched nameless fragrance dripped through the splash of impossible waterfalls. Where are those evenings now? Waves, load your cannons. The sky is choked with targets. What chained you to serve the severe ones? The ones whose hair enchants hummingbirds, the ones whose breasts harden into traps, the ones whose necks woven from secrets, the ones found naked in shipwreck nights, the ones of wildfires and wastelands, the one wilted by love before they bloomed, the ones who lie with honest eyes, the ones with deep hearts with beautiful legs, with smiles subtle and cruel, with tenderness that blazes like diamonds, with hips that sway as they walk, the ones whose panties tighten around the thighs, the ones in skirts with white pants beneath, a bare slice of skin between garter and frill, the ones you followed in hope or in doubt, the ones who never looked back, withered bouquet thrown in their path, dragged you on, through dust, through dreams. Still you'll chase them to the death, eyes weary of piercing dull shadows, of watching dawn rise across their sky-lit beds, of keeping their ghosts tucked in your shut eyes. A rose at their mouths, their eyes tender, but their hands cruel. They'll carve up your heart, spill your blood, as if punishing it for loving them once. If only to be loved by them, you had to be brave, a marvelous danger and keep your soul, your heart, loyal, to read their love in the lightning of their gaze. But the boldest, not the truest, steal their confession, mouth to mouth, before our thoughts can from a plea, like figureheads on ships. Their smiles shine, their hair flows. Only the one rules love and pain. Only the one owns passionate souls. Some bowed to him. Their lives became torment. Others hunted him as he changed his face. Blue eyes, then eyes black as ash, burning in a face where the rose has shriveled, deeper than sky, deeper than despair. Master of their sleep and sleeplessness, he leads whole crowds across the land toward gutted seas. The tide will rise, and the star has failed. Someone told me of a man lost in the ice, a chaos of mountains, far from the sea. He saw it pass, a silent, smoke-free mass, a grand ship dressed in flags. Silent sailors clung to the ropes, loud birds cried in the rigging, dancers in evening gowns and turbans dreamed at the rail. Jewels flared, cold fire at their throats and wrists. Feathered fans clapped toward far-off ports, where balls reddened the towers and gates. The dancers, sunken in their sorrow, dreamed their wants were sharper than steel. It was madness among glaciers. Great clouds slid down the mountain sides. Another found, in the hollow of a clearing, a blooming rose bush ringed with fir trees. How many blood-red roses did he pick before sleeping in the moss at dawn? Still his eyes held that strange landscape etched on his gaze, and his unsure heart chose that place, the scent of rose in time to stop beating at last. When we sang, our voices full and bright, we wandered lands where the echo answered lovers' questions with words we understood. But since the night collapsed onto our heads, those words carry strange meanings, and when memory speaks them again, we disobey their heavy command. Did you hear singing in the mountains, the echo of horns, of ancient trumpets? Why do we only sing the prison songs to the same dreary tolling bell? Isn't that Don Juan wandering these paths where shadow marries ghosts? That echoing step in ruined nights, did it crush hearts under a hard heel? This is not Don Juan gliding down those hell-lit stairs, not the one who spat on psalms, who drank with the commander, laughing. His lovely eyes, no heart was touched. His lips knew only dreams kiss. And it is that dream that drives some dark girl to love him, the one who shuns him, knows him not, but presses her cold jewels, her sepulchral lips against his silence, her cruel sphinx eyes, her animal hands against his hands, his star, the heavens. He, with heart torn by deadly illusions, still pierced by their rotting beaks. For one real kiss, you, brief beauties, he will save you at the edge of your last day. Laughter at his lips, he will crush strawberries, his eyes marked now by a purer fate. He is Bacchus reborn from ash and ember, ashes in his teeth, embers in his psalms. But for each rebirth, how many do not die, but drag their chains? Heart, feet, both? The rivers will flow, the dead will rot. Each year the oaks will green again. I live when I please in a dark ravine where the sky is torn into a diamond by shadow. Fir trees, larches, boulders cutting into the slope. Strange tubers grow in the grass. Columbines, autumn crocus, dragonflies hover, so-do-praying mantises, the sky, the plants, the insects, the crows, the muskrats, they never change. This ravine stays night, its diamond canopy never pierced by cloud. On tree trunks, 2 initials always the same, carved and waiting. Putrid and freezing night, appalling night, night of the crippled ghosts and rotting plants. Incandescent night, fire and flame in the wells, darkness without lightning, deceit and trickery. Who is it staring at me by the crashing rivers? Drowned men, fishermen, sailors? Let the tumors burst malignantly on the skins of passing shadows. Those eyes have seen me before. Let the clamors round. The day the sun set over the city, the shadow of chestnut trees touching the building's feet banners snapped on towers, and summer piled its fruits high for annual sacrifice. You've come from far, so it said serpent vomiter, hero, no doubt dreary assassin. The lover without pain disappears, and you, son of your own deeds, suicide. Do you blush at the desire to be happy? Ghost, this is my mirror where the night lingers. Among cold coffins and revolting hearts, love boils and reboils like a false mushroom, and the shadow of a lover in an impotent's hands. And yet you are not among those I scorn. Let's clasp hands, my brother. Let us embrace, among sweet notes, ribbons, and combs. Prayer never sullied your knees. You searched the beach at the foot of sharp rocks, for the cove where starfish washed ashore. It was evening. Fires through the cold sky sailed on, and, dreaming among the salt flats, you saw nameless fragrance drift through the splashes of impossible waterfalls. Where are those evenings, O waves? Reload your cannons, for the sky is loud and cluttered with targets. What fate chained you to serve the severe? The ones whose hair charms hummingbirds, the ones whose firm breasts are a fatal refuge, and the ones whose napes that are nests of mystery. The ones found naked in shipwrecked nights, the ones of wildfire and deserts, the ones wilted by love before their time, the ones who lie with eyes that still seem sincere, the deep-hearted, the long-legged, the ones whose smile is sly and cruel, the ones whose tenderness is a flaming diamond, and those whose hips sway with every step, the ones whose tight panties grip their thighs, who wear white trousers under skirts, revealing a glimpse of bare skin between the garter and the frills by artifice, the ones you followed in hope or doubt, the ones you followed who never looked back, and the faded bouquet they tossed as they walked led you for long through the chaos of their paths. But you will chase them to death without rest. Your eyes tired of piercing gloomy dark, of watching dawn rise over the bed sky, of housing their shadows in your closed pupils. With a rose in their mouth and caressing eyes, they will torment you with cruel hands, tear at your heart, spill your blood, as if to punish you for beating for them. Happy if to win their love it were enough. to face great danger without flinching, and always keep soul and heart faithful, to read their tenderness in the flashes of their eyes. But the boldest, if not the sincerest, steal from their lips a confession with full mouths, and before our thoughts, like figureheads on prows, their smiles shine and their hair floats. For the one rules over love and its pain. Only he has possessed passionate souls. Those who obeyed his law in misfortune knew only a torturer for many years. Others pursued him through his transformations. After very blue eyes came very black ones, shining in a face where the rose had withered, deeper than sky, deeper than despair. Master of their sleep and their insomnia, he leads them in crowds across countries toward gutted seas and epiphanies. The tide will be high and the star has failed. Someone told me that, lost in the ice, in a chaos of mountains, far from any ocean, he saw passing, without noise or smoke, the mass immense and festooned of a giant liner. Silent sailors clung to ropes, shrieking birds flew in the rigging, dancers dreamed at the railings in evening gowns and turbans. Jewels cast cold sparks on their throats and wrists, and great fans of feather clapped in their hands toward ports where balls flushed towers and gates red. Dancers sunk deep in their melancholy, dreamed, comparing their desires to steel. It was among the peaks in a mad evening, where great clouds flowed down glacier flanks. Another found, in the hollow of a clearing, a blooming rose bush surrounded by firs. How many blood-red roses did he pluck before falling asleep on moss by dawn? But his eyes kept the strange landscape etched into their pupils, and his unsure heart chose to stop beating without courage. In that place sealed by the scent of rose and thyme, back when we sang with vibrant voices, we passed through these strange lands, where echoes answered lovers' questions with words whose meanings were once familiar. But now that fight collapses upon us. These words have strange accents in our hearts, and when a memory repeats them to us, we disobey their imperious commands. Do you hear voices singing in the mountains, and the noise of horns and buccinas resounding? Why do we only sing the prisoner's refrain to the sound of an eternal, lugubrious knell? Is it not Don Juan passing those alleys where shadows wed with ghosts of love? Does that echoing step in desolate nights mark hearts with a heavy heel? It's not the Don Juan who calmly descends the dripping stairs of infernal splendor, nor he who spat on Bible verses and laughed drinking with the statue. His misunderstood eyes touched no hearts. His mouth knew only the kiss of dreams, and it's he who is dreamed of in dark adores by the one who scorns and ignores him endlessly, striking her cold commands but sepulchral lips, her silent mouth to his mouth and his eyes, her cruel sphinx eyes and animal hands to his eyes, his hands, his star, the skies. But he, heart bruised by dead illusions, keeping their rotting beak in his loves, for one virile kiss of fleeting beauties may save you at the threshold of the final day. His mouth smiling will crush strawberries, his eyes marked by a purer fate. He is Bacchus reborn from ashes and embers, ashes in his teeth, embers in his hands. But for one who is reborn, how many carry at heart, carry at their feet heavy chains? The rivers will flow and the dead will rot. Each year the oak leaves will green again. I live when I please in a dark ravine above which the sky is cut like a jagged rhombus by the shadows. of firs, larches, and rocks covering steep slopes in the grass of the ravine grow strange tuberoses, columbines and autumn crocuses, overflown by dragonflies and praying mantises. And so alike always are the sky, the flora, the fauna, where crows and muskrats follow the insects, that I do not know what unchanging season has settled over this ever-night ravine, with its rhombus-patterned canopy of stars through which no cloud ever crosses. On the trunks of trees, 2 initials, always the same, are carved. By what knife, by what hand, for what heart? The valley was empty for the first time I came. No one had ever set foot there but me. No one else has walked that ground, the pond where frogs swim in shadows with their slow, deliberate strokes. Reflect stars that do not move, the marsh where toads cry out with their loud, aching voices. Holds a will-o'-the-wisp that never shifts. This is the season of love, sad, unmoving, floating over this lonely place. I will always love it, and I doubt I'll ever cross the line of larches and firs, never climb the grotesque rocks to reach the white road where she sometimes walks, the road where shadows do not always lean the same way. At times I feel the night has only now fallen from the sky. Hunters pass on by the road I cannot see. The sound of horns echoes under the larches. They've spent the long days chasing fox, badger, deer across the plowed fields. Horse nostrils smoke white in the dark. The music fades, and I can barely make out the matching initials carved in the trunks of the larches that line the ravine. No falling star has stirred the foam. Nothing disturbs the mountains, the fire, the sky, water, except that horizontal burst of feathers telling the fall and death of a bird. And nothing will stop that one feather from flying, not the gleam of hair on a wild rider, not the shameful ink at the bottom of an inkwell, not the singing wave or the growling storm, not the necks of desperate beauties, not the branch nor the sealed tomb, not the creaking of cables on night-burdened boats, not the wall where hearts are spelled out in names, not the leper's chant in the solemn marsh, not the ices asleep on the avenues, endlessly reflecting a flickering street lamp. Never, oh beautiful snow, the body of a naked woman. Not the sea monsters with streaming scales, not the northern fog with its blue wounds, not the window pane where, at dusk, a dreaming woman retraces a love's still yet to come, not the echo of cries from a lost traveler, not fleeing clouds, not marching horses, not the driver's shadow under arches and docks, not the pavement's shadow hung around its neck, not you, Fouquet Tinville, with your pale waxen hands. Stars, hands, love, eyes, blood, they all erupt like fire from a crater. Farewell, morning breaks white like a reef. Oh, hands that ache to wound themselves on love, we will give you the reddest baptism, redder than blast furnace flames, redder than the sun dying in its fog-choked grave. The most beautiful eyes in the world have known our thoughts. We tried every noble vice, but no kiss, no insane delight, ever smothered the hope burning in our aching hearts. Then I saw the crystal doors open on a purer crystal, a lovely ghost. Throw your metal heart in the stream, she said. Shatter your bottles on the marble of the tables. Stab out your eyes and burst your eardrums. Spit your tongues from your mouths and let the dogs eat them. Say goodbye to your desires, those staggering ships. Let your hands and feet be torn by their chains. Be humble in the drift of your trances. Lose your hope, your pride, your dignity, so I may deepen your suffering with exquisite cruelties. She spoke. She was the beloved. She was the crystal heart, the pitiless eyes, the most beautiful eyes in the world, bright sources, and the beautiful mouth with the teeth of a predator. Dig both your hands into my obedient brain. Bite my lips, pretending it's a kiss. If pride and strength are easy virtues, then loneliness is the hardest when love is denied. I spoke of a ghost and a falling bird. Now my dream loses the words I spoke. The meadow where I speak is carved with graves. The echo rings with the sharp beat of hammers. They raise the scaffold at the next prison. The condemned man sleeps in a bed too narrow. He dreams of great black crows soaring over the fields, where he once found desire and fear. Those two spirits walked beside each other, tearing their coats and faces on the branches. False lovers, struck by their guilt, followed them in a long procession. Fires whistled on the roofs of villages. Fish, drawn by heavenly nets, rose slowly through the branches. Woodcutters came out of their low cottages, and the condemned men, still dreaming, spoke to one of them, a being more spectral than the oak struck by the axe. Listen, he said. Hear the cattle moan far off. The wind blowing here will snap their tethers. Listen to the voice of the cruel one until morning. Her mouth tastes like a poisoned fruit. The sky and the mountain where herds call to each other have blurred before our astonished eyes. Enchanted by birds and betrayed by love, down dark corridors beneath shadowy archways, the lover will search for the mark of the blade that Isis, with her fire heart, plunged into his own. O blade of flawless edge, sister of mystic rivers, the bird that once sang for her in its cage is silent now, and the queen of swallows turns no longer, turns no more. One day I met the vulture and the osprey. Their shadows on the ground did not surprise me. Later I deciphered on chalk ramparts the charcoal initials of a name I know. A vampire struck my window with its wing. Let it enter, crowned in pondweed, with its lovely necklace of live ladybugs that foretell love and rain and fair weather. To lie with her, for sleep side by side, for parallel dreams, for double breath. To lie with her, for a shared shadow, surprising and whole, for the same heat, for the same solitude. To lie with her, for a shared dawn, for a mirrored midnight, for the same ghosts. To lie with her, for absolute love, for vice, for every kind of kiss. To lie with her, for an ineffable shipwreck, to prostitute ourselves to each other, to lose ourselves in each other. To lie with her, to prove and truly prove that never did the lie of an original stain weigh down the soul or body of lovers. To always hold the greatest love for her is not difficult, but everything is uncertain for hearts of fire, for loyal hearts. To always hold the greatest love, are there such things as involuntary betrayals? No, The flesh never lies, and the body of the most vicious man remains pure, pure as the greatest love for her. It blossoms in my one heart unchained. No mud has ever reached her image. The only beloved in the lover's heart. No filth has touched the greatest love for her. It's for its purity that we admire the diamond. No dirt can stain the diamond, nor the heart of she. The most loved in the lover's heart, the truest lover, capable of the greatest love, is no celibate, no ascetic, no Puritan. And if he tests the bodies of the most beautiful, it's because he knows well that the most beautiful is hers alone. The truest lover is a debauched man. His mouth has known and knows every kiss. Even if he gives in to every vice, he is worth all the more. For the truest lover, if he is not loved by the one he loves, it matters little. He will love her still. He will eternally desire to be loved. And loving without hope, he becomes pure as a diamond. His whole body will become a disappointing prey for false lovers and counterfeit loves. And without pity, the true lover will sacrifice all for the one he loves. What does it matter if he always holds the greatest love for her? On the day of the longed-for meeting, he will be purer than dawn and fire, and ready for ecstasy. To always hold the greatest love for her. There is no betrayal of the body. Let your heart always beat for her. Let your eyes close upon her only image. To be loved by her. Not happiness, not bliss, not even desire, but will, or rather, fate. To be loved by her. Not for the one night out of all nights, but forever in the eternal present. Without scenery, without light, to be loved by her. Written in the signs of time, in spite of all against past and future. Forever. But to be loved by her, must I lose even love itself? Don't even speak of life. Love? Not even that. To be loved by her, it is inevitable. No songs, no cries, no feeling. To be loved by her, marble, unmoved, frozen seas, skies without mercy. But wait. Wait long. Wait again. Wait. Denied by eternity. To die after her. That is the lover's duty. Only he has the right to carve a name into a fading stone, to carve a name into a perishing tree, and to vanish forever, to vanish he after her. But the love, the greatest love, will burn like an eternal flame. For so many months now, my dear, I've loved you. Why have you no desire to know my work? If my days disobey dismal systems, my nights are kept by noble sentinels. Must I still keep watch over a pyre so bright that even the phoenix could not survive it? Or, like a castaway near passing ships, should I strip these pages one by one for no reason at all? Must I destroy myself to extinguish my faith? The universe of my dreams exalts your image. By the famed lands I made for you, will they be crossed by more than your mirage? If I must die at the feet of rival idols, I'm ready, confessing your cruel majesty. I'll die if you wish, just to be, in your history, the fading echo of a useless passion. I give you everything, even the hearts of ghosts, submitting to this fatal, exquisite torment, content to vanish in 2 lines of a book, and not be whispered by lovers in the dark. I'm tired of fighting a fate that slips away, tired of trying to forget, tired of remembering the faintest scent that rises from your dress, tired of hating you, tired of blessing you. It was worth more than this, but you didn't see it. One day, among days of sun on rock, remember the lover, whose heart was bare and who served you without fear, without blame. Will you wait for me to reach far shores, to ask, gazing down at your empty knees, who left? I don't know his face. But why does he walk alone toward his freedom? We must find him, that faithless servant, chain him again to my prison, punish him, and let him serve me still with a model heart, even without my pity. Because I am imperious, I must be obeyed. No one may leave me without dismal. Too bad for him. If he returns to my service, and his proud dignity didn't cast me aside. I know prisons of fancy for the heart. Let the runaway lover return at once, for tonight I need many servants to shine my shoes and bring me my coat. But why? The escapee knows his prison well. He likely took too dear a hostage to ransom himself again. The treasure of a pure heart cannot be divided. Escape from water, from prisons, from gallows. Farewell, I will leave. As one dies at morning, it isn't the miles that make the distance, but these words. I loved her, murmured, far away. Adorable sign, inscribed in the dead water, in muddy depths. Oh, fish circling the algae. Where is the spring I've heard flowing for years now, yet never once found? Who keeps slamming those heavy doors shut, doors that echo like thunder? Dead water, invisible source. Criminal, wait for me, just beyond the turn of the path, among the towering hemlocks, like clouds. The evenings without reason rise and vanish, wearing a tattoo over the left breast. Tomorrow. Water drips slowly from a crack in the bottle, and the most famous astrologers come to drink the elixir of life, while the man with closed eyes keeps mumbling, one stork lost, two return. And the hemlocks wit. And the hemlocks wilt in the shade of a forgotten meeting. And tomorrow, on time, but masked, wearing a four-man's coat, opens a giant red umbrella in the field where the milkmaids hang their linens at dawn. Pale effigies, ghosts of marble, standing in moonlit halls, a floorboard groans, a sword falls, no hand behind it, and pierces the earth, and I walk on, room to room, each one wide and empty, the polished floors reflecting water. There are hands in this night of marsh and moss, one hand white, almost a person, the hand I long to kiss and dare not. There are terrible hands, the inky hands of the sad schoolboy, the red hand on the bedroom wall, the pale hand of the dead, hands that clutch a knife, a revolver, hands that open, hands that close, hands I despise holding a fountain pen. Oh, my hand, you too. You too. My hand with your strange lines, why smear them? Why not shackle you? Why Why not wound you? Why not? No. Right. Right. Because this is a letter to her. And this impure act, it's a way to touch her. Hands reaching, hands offered. Is there a single honest hand among them? I can't bear to shake hands anymore. Lying hands. Cowardly hands. Hands I hate. Hands that confess. That tremble when I meet their eyes. Is there still one hand I can shake with trust? Hands pressed to the mouth of love. Hands on a loveless heart. Hands in the fire of love. Hands to be served from false love. Hands that stoop for love. Hands dead in love. Hands forced by love. Hands raised over love. Hands resting on love. Hands lifted high in love. Hands reaching for love. Hands doing the work of love. Hands joyful in love. Hands in the dough, but not in love. Horrible hands. Hands bound by eternal love. Hands washed clean by love's relentless tide. Hand in hand, that's love stalking through. Hands full, still love. Hands armored, that's true love. Masterful hands, hands of love. Warm hand of love, hand offered to love. Hand of justice, hand of love, strong hand of love. Hands, hands, all the hands. A man drowns, a man bursts from the waves, a man walks away, a hand waves goodbye. A hand clenches, a heart breaks, a hand shuts of divine fury. One more hand, another hand, a hand on my shoulder. Who is it? Is it you at last? It's too dark. Such darkness. I no longer know whose hands these are, what they want, what they say. Hands are liars. I still remember white hands in the dark, spread out on the table, waiting. I remember the hands I once held dear, but now I don't know anymore. There are too many traitors, too many liars, even my own hand, the one that writes. A knife, a weapon, a tool, anything but writing. Blood gives me blood. Patience, that day will come. Withered wild roses and dry herbariums. Yellow leaves, everything cracks in this room, like grass underfoot on a midnight walk. Invisible wings hold down my arms, and a distant sea murmurs just at the edge of hearing. The bed rolls on its foamy edge all the way to dawn. But dawn never arrives. It never will. Shattered glass, rotting wood panels, endless dreams, faded flowers. A white hand crosses the darkness and rests gently on my forehead. And I will listen until the impossible morning as the bird of paradise. The bird I trapped by mistake keeps flying into walls and furniture. Just because I shut my eyes, never again will the dawn come. Shouting blue across the wash houses, a soap bar dissolving in the dark river. Dawn will not foam upon this pale night, not on our trembling fingers, not in our empty glasses. It's the borderless night, the daughter of pine trees, that makes anchor chains groan in the harbor. The night of nights without love, the strangler of dreams. Night of blood, night of fire, night of war without cease, night of lost paths up stairwells, night of feet crashing heavy on landings, night of lust, night of falling into the abyss, night of chains clinking in the crime room, night of naked ghosts sleeping into beds, night of sudden waking when sleepers are weak and open. They feel blood spilling over their narrow chests, feel spit rise from infected throats, caressing, in the dark, some hairy vampire. Not sure if it's the ravenous beast, isn't just their own heart pounding under the filthy ribs. Night of blurred echoes and soft embers, night of fires mirrored in glass, night of the blind, searching for coins in drawers, night of loveless nights, when sheets slip away and cops whistle down the boulevards. Oh night, cruel night, where dresses tremble, where whispers lean over the sick. Night sealed forever by steel locks, oh night, solitary, starless, harborless. In your eyes, in your heart, and in the sky itself, watch now as the blurry world suddenly stars apart, a crack glowing narrow and bright, as if some lazy clawed beast had hung the night and torn it open. But the light will be pale. The tide will come slow. Veins will race through fragile glass. Cracks will mimic snakes coiling, tying knots in the pale glow of a strange morning. So when the tired gambler lays down his last symbolic card and cruel light hits the colonnades, many thoughts, many old desires, many wilted fans fall onto their stairwells. Be silent. Put down the pen. Close your ears to the slow, heavy footsteps climbing the stairs. Night already fades, but this dawn is no dawn. It's dead butterflies fallen beneath chandeliers. A storm of ghosts burns your eyes that dare to defy them, and weeps with the tears of longing. As for the sky, more faded than an old photo, rubbed raw by too many stares. It's just a pastime now. A long, slow pastime. Call the siren, call the star, call them loud. If you can't sleep, mouths closed, hands folded, like a knight carved in stone who smiles faintly at a godless sky, and a hell without wailing. Oh, revolt